As Grand Marshal, it is my proud honor to open these proceedings. Here now, in the presence of students, faculty, colleagues, honored guests, relatives, and friends, the 2024 commencement exercise of the Graduate School of Biomedical Science at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai will begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Eric Nestler, Dean for Academic Affairs and Chief Scientific Officer at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, along with Dr. Marta Filizzola, who is Dean of the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. It is our great pleasure to welcome today's graduates, their families, and friends to this 9th Masters Commencement Ceremony. Our graduates today represent diverse fields of inquiry spanning public health, epidemiology, healthcare administration and delivery, biomedical and clinical research, biostatistics, data science, and genetic counseling. Some of you will be continuing your graduate education, but most are heading to jobs in the healthcare sector where your work can have real-world implications immediately. Most of you are receiving degrees in a field related to public health, and our nation needs your newly honed expertise more than ever. In fact, this year marks a major milestone at Mount Sinai. This spring, we created a new academic department of public health, and we recruited one of our own stars, Dr. Rosalind Wright, who joins us on stage, as the inaugural chair of the department. Dr. Wright will also serve as Mount Sinai's first dean for public health. These initiatives represent a major investment by Mount Sinai in public health, with a firm commitment to expand the scope and depth of our educational, research, and community programs. This projected growth in Mount Sinai's public health footprint represents the high priority of research efforts to better understand disease patterns, risk factors, health outcomes, and to develop and implement interventions to treat and prevent disease and improve overall health. Dr. Tom Frieden, a former commissioner of New York City's Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, and also a former director of the Centers for Disease Control, is quoted, yes, please sit down. Although I think it would be fun to have them stay standing. Dr. Frieden is quoted as saying, "I loved clinical practice, but in public health, you can impact more than one person at a time. The whole society is your patient." While our local and national communities, of course, represent a major focus of Mount Sinai's work in public health, we must extend our efforts to international communities to advance global health. Public health research is also essential to inform and optimize health policy, to help governments and other organizations make informed decisions about how to allocate resources and prioritize health interventions. And a greater focus in public health is still needed to identify and correct health disparities and the social and economic factors that contribute to them. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking and inhumane." Mount Sinai's Institute for Health Equities Research will be a crucial partner in our enhanced public health initiatives to achieve tangible progress in this very important priority in healthcare. Mount Sinai has established strength in all of these areas of investigation, and under Dr. Wright's leadership, we will advance a leading and broad public health agenda. The COVID-19 pandemic, through which we all lived, reminded us of the overwhelming importance of public health and disease prevention. But the striking thing for me is that this principle has long been known. Societies just have short memories. In this country, President John Adams, our second president, is credited with founding the first institution of public health in 1798, the creation of hospitals for sailors along the country's waterways. This system of so-called maritime hospitals led in 1870 under President Ulysses Grant to the creation of the Maritime Hospital Service, which was charged with disease prevention for civilian populations as well. The service was led by a surgeon whose role evolved into that of the Surgeon General. This new system, in fact, was credited with limiting the impact of smallpox and yellow fever in the United States at the time, which were major causes of worldwide pandemics. The Public Health Service was founded in 1889 under President Grover Cleveland and grew out of this successful marine hospital system. In fact, the National Institute of Health was founded around this period of time as part of a marine hospital located on Staten Island here in New York City. A few years later, under President Teddy Roosevelt, the Public Health Service was given expanded authority. This is in the early 1900s, to carry out research beyond prevention of infectious disease on the nation's water supply, sanitation, and sewage systems. This effort included the founding of the Food and Drug Administration in 1906 as part of the Public Health Service, and the Public Health Service grew dramatically under President Franklin Roosevelt a few decades later, going from 625 to over 3,000 employees in just a few years. The Center for Disease Control was launched in 1946, shortly after Roosevelt's death, in concert with this expanded public health service. These milestones, which propelled the modern era of public health that we recognize today, are interesting to view in retrospect, a gradual and progressive increase in attention to the nation's health and well-being. And I think it's essential to emphasize that these advances were all enabled by the growing economic success of our nation, which provided the means to fund these important programs. The success of this enterprise over a century and a half cannot be overstated. I'll just give two metrics. Infant mortality in the United States was 40%, 40% in 1850. Think of that. I just had 5 grandchildren born in the last 3 years. The thought of infant mortality at 40% is horrifying. Today, infant mortality in the U.S. is less than 1%, still higher than it should be, but what an incredible achievement. Life expectancy in 1850 was 40 years. By 2020, life expectancy doubled to 80 years. Now, in just the past few years, for the first time in this country, we've seen a dip in life expectancy, which brings us back to the unique demands of today's world. We must ensure a long memory this time of the COVID-19 pandemic and learn its lessons, a never-ending lookout for evolving contagions with systems in place for rapid but also effective responses. And now we need to address the other pandemics facing humanity today. And in my humble opinion, I think some of these problems were exacerbated by our wrong-headed response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm referring to depression and other stress-related disorders, drug addiction, and obesity, all of which are rampant in the United States and to a certain extent around the world, and are mostly responsible for the recent decline in life expectancy in the United States. President Herbert Hoover, in commenting on the Public Health Service, said it very well in his inaugural address in 1929. Public health service should be as fully organized and as universally incorporated into our governmental system as is public education. The returns are 1,000-fold in economic benefits and infinitely more in reduction of suffering and promotion of human happiness. You, our graduates today, are uniquely prepared to help our country take on these and other major challenges with the boldness and creative solutions that they require. With your new degrees across public health, biomedical sciences, and other health-related professions, I am confident that you and your generation will make a major difference and leave our local, national, and global communities in a better place than we find them today. I wish you all well on your new adventures, and please remember that wherever your careers take you, you will always be part of the Mount Sinai family. Thank you all very much. It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Sandro Galea, the Robert A. Knox Professor and Dean of Boston University's School of Public Health, to receive an honorary degree from Mount Sinai. Presenting the degree is Dr. Rosalind Wright, whom I mentioned before, Dean for Public Health at Mount Sinai. Following the presentation of the degree, Dr. Galea will address the graduates. Dr. Galea, Dr. Wright, please step forward.
Dr. Sandro Galea, you are a renowned population health scientist and epidemiologist, author, physician, and one of the most widely cited scholars in the social sciences. You have dedicated your career to understanding the social causes of health, mental health, and the consequences of trauma, and then working to shape these fields in order to disrupt them and change the lives and trajectories of people around the world. At Boston University's School of Public Health, you have served as dean since 2015 and also as the Robert A. Knox Professor before this. You served in academic leadership roles in epidemiology at Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health, the University of Michigan, and New York Academy of Medicine. In your time at Boston University, the School of Public Health has been transformed, launching innovative new programs and curricula, doubling its research funding portfolio and development revenue, and enhancing the school's reputation. You have practiced medicine in rural and remote parts of the world, including serving as a field physician for Doctors Without Borders in Somalia. Your extensively cited research funded through the NIH, CDC, and many foundations has resulted in thousands of scientific journal articles, books, chapters, and media publications. You frequently serve as advisor to national and global organizations, including the World Health Organization and World Economic Forum, as well as on many public and private advisory boards. This leadership includes serving as current chairperson for the City of Boston's Board of Health and of the John Snow Incorporated, a global public health consultancy, as well as many past board, committee, and leadership roles at public population health and epidemiology organizations. You are recognized as a trusted voice in healthcare and epidemiology by leading publications and media sources, and are the recipient of numerous prestigious awards. I don't want it to fall off.
Good afternoon. Deans Nestler, Filizola, Wright, students, faculty, staff, graduates, class of 2024. Thank you for having me here for this honor. It's really a joy to be here with you today. Thank you for the invitation to be among the first to congratulate the Icahn School of Medicine and Mount Sinai Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences, class of 2024, on their achievement. Congratulations. I have long considered commencement to be the happiest day of the academic year. Last month, I experienced the commencement ceremony for the first time as the parent of a graduate when my son received his college degree. I know the pride that parents and friends feel today, a pride echoed by the feelings of the many members of the school community who are here to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2024. So I wanted to offer brief remarks, and for the graduates, don't worry, they will be brief, with a story. It's a story of a different speech, and this one was given by President Bill Clinton on August 7th, 1996. And you can actually look this up on YouTube, you can see the speech. The subject of the speech was the possible discovery of life on Mars. Scientists had just found what appeared to be microscopic fossils in a meteorite thought to have come from the red planet. The findings were compelling enough for the president to address the nation about this possible proof of alien life. Now, the reason that many of you may not remember this speech, well, some of you were not born, but for those of us who were born, is because subsequent scientific analysis cast doubt on the hypothesis. The current scientific consensus is, in fact, that the meteorite's features can be explained without the presence of life. So no ET, at least not yet. Now, I tell you the story why. I tell you the story for two reasons. Number one, because it's cool. And number two, because I think it says something about our shared aspiration of building a healthier world, as you heard from Dean Nestler, and science and how it gets us there. First, I think it shows science at its best. It reflects a science that is open-minded enough to consider truly radical possibilities, such as discovering alien life. At the same time, the story shows a science that is committed enough to the principles of rigorous review to second-guess even its most compelling conclusions. Despite political hype and the excitement generated by the initial findings, the process of science continued soberly, following reason wherever it led. Second, the story reflects the ever-present possibility of radical paradigm shifts. Few discoveries would be more earth-shaking than the confirmation of alien life. And for a moment, in 1996, we seemed close enough to this confirmation to warrant a speech from the president. Such moments are reminders that the world can change in an instant. This is perhaps particularly so in a time like ours, when much is uncertain, in flux, factors like war, pandemics, as you heard, political shocks, emerging technologies like artificial intelligence are all intersecting in this moment. In many ways, this is cause for concern, reminiscent of the words of the philosopher Antonio Gramsci, who said, "The old world is dying, and the new world struggles to be born. Now is the time of monsters." We don't need to look far to see the monsters of our time. They include racism, inequality, violent conflict, the persistence of health gaps that have excluded many from being able to live fully healthy. But just as the moment poses challenges, it also presents opportunities for creating a healthier world. In such a world, everyone would enjoy full access to the resources that support health. We would see an end to the divisions that harm the health of many. And we would address the foundational drivers of health with as much energy and as many resources as we currently devote to shaping better technologies and treatments. Such a world may today, sitting here in 2024, seem far off. But the moral of the story is that the world can change just like that. What long seems impossible can suddenly become the new reality. A pandemic can shut down the world for 2 years. Chatbots can start to sound human, and we can make a world where the monsters of the moment give way to a radically healthier future. But big positive changes do not happen on their own. They take the committed work of many. And every one of you, every graduate here, has a central role to play in creating a healthier world. And that is very good news, because during your studies, you showed your capacity for leadership in the work of health. You showed that you are committed to creating health for individuals and for populations. And it's now up to you, the graduates, to seize the opportunities of this moment and build a healthier future for us all. Our collective health is in good hands because they are your hands. And it's easy to be hopeful about the future because it is one you are going to shape. Now, as you prepare to do so, I would like to offer 3 principles that may help you in your pursuit of this radical vision for health. Number 1, first pillar, humility. All of you know a lot. Your graduation today is testament to all you have learned, to your deep understanding of the work of creating health. This is essential to all you're going to do in your lives and careers. But it's also important to know what you do not know. And this is where humility comes in. Humility is the understanding that there are always limits to what we know. We can and should be in the business always of expanding these limits. But we're never going to reach a point where we can say we have learned it all. Humility recognizes this, allowing us to learn from what others can teach us. When we think we know it all, we are less likely to open our minds and our ears in our dealings with other people. Humility enables us to learn because it reminds us of our ongoing need to do so. Now, there is a misconception that humility means downplaying our talents and abilities. But that's not the kind of humility I'm talking about. C.S. Lewis said, humility is not thinking less of yourself. Don't think less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less. We should have a healthy sense of what we know and what we can do. We should also have the humility to place these attributes at the service of others. Public health is all about this service. We serve communities at the local, national, and global levels to create a healthier world for all. Humility helps align all we do with this mission. It lets us look beyond ourselves to see the need of others and to work to address those needs. Number two, second pillar, radical compassion. Like empathy, compassion helps us see the world through the eyes of others. However, compassion goes beyond letting us walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. It shows us the forces that shape the health of everybody. Empathy might allow us to feel what another feels. Compassion helps us go further, urging us to ask, why do they feel the way they do? When we do that, we can see the political, social, and economic forces that underlie the health of many. We can see how a friend lives with obesity because her home is in a food desert that keeps nutritious food out of reach. We can see how racism and economic precarity can undermine the mental health of a favorite teacher. We can see how climate change contributes to a sister's respiratory illness. Our window into such factors, which compassion opens, shows us the need to create spaces of equity to address the drivers of poor health. Compassion calls on us to act to create a better world. That's why it's radical. It will not let us sit still. It is constantly pushing us to help others by making the world a better place. And compassion is also radical because it calls on us to make a better world for everyone, including, and here's the hard part, people we do not understand and people we may not like. It is for this reason that we see many examples in history and literature of compassion shown even for one's enemies. When we have compassion, it is not necessary to like someone nor to recognize the circumstances that shape their life. And when we see those circumstances, we have a responsibility to act. And number three, and finally, the third pillar is reform through reason. This is ultimately about the data, the incremental work we do every day to make the world better. Everything we do should rest on a foundation of consequential, rigorous, and inquisitive science. By consequential, I mean science that's guided by the priorities of what matter most in the pursuit of health. We should prioritize lines of inquiry that deepen our understanding of the forces that shape health, to support work that helps build a healthier world. This work should be rigorous, guided by the highest quality of data, with an aspiration to being objective and non-ideological, committed to nothing but the pursuit of truth. It should be inquisitive, informed by deep curiosity about the world and about people, guided by these principles. Our science can help us get to a better, healthier future we all want. But this is not going to happen overnight. This is where it becomes necessary to embrace what I have called radical incrementalism in our work. Radical incrementalism means working patiently, pragmatically, towards the radical goal of a healthier world for all. And this goal is radical indeed. It means building a world that is optimized for health at every level. Creating this change will take time, and a willingness in the short term to accept compromises and trade-offs. This means being strategic, reformist, even as we remain committed to what is a fundamentally radical goal, the creation of a healthier world. So these three principles perhaps sound simple, but putting them into practice in an increasingly complex world is anything but. There is much in the world to distract us from the foundational values that should underlie all we do. The future belongs to those who can, in the middle of this distraction, keep a clear head and a commitment to the principles that first whispered to us that a better world is possible. You are all here because you have made this commitment. It is what carried you through this program, and it now points towards your future paths. As you take your next steps, you stay true to this commitment if you stay guided by the principles of compassion, humility, reform through reason. You can be leaders in a time that desperately needs them. Rather than becoming more like this moment with all its anger and irrationality, you can make the moment more like you and the world more like a place where all of us can lead healthy lives. Thank you. Thank you for all you have done to put us on the road to such a world. Thank you for all you will do to keep us there. Congratulations again on your achievement. I know I speak for many when I say, I cannot wait to see what you do next. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Galea. It is now a privilege for me to introduce Dr. Marta Filizzola, Dean of the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Filizzola.
Thank you, Eric. Parents and family members, faculty, and most of all, class of 2024, welcome. This is a proud day for the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences, a day to celebrate your great achievement of earning master's degrees from the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, and our school's achievement of enriching the fields of biomedicine and healthcare with your education and talents. With your advanced degrees, you are now prepared to play a role in creating the future, in advancing science, health, and medicine. And there are so many ways that members of the class of 2024 will do this. We will work to understand and prevent the threats to public health. You will compile and analyze biomedical data to generate new insights that can improve human health. You will build research studies that can yield the clinical breakthroughs that change patients' lives. You will help families understand the genetic risks and prepare them for what may be the greatest challenge of their lives. You will be called upon to counsel healthcare professionals confronting the most complex bioethical challenges. You will help manage hospitals and perhaps one day run hospital or an entire health system. All of this is very noble work. We are proud not only to have helped you reach this point, but also to have such a diverse class of graduates, students from around the globe with many different ethnicities and varied socioeconomic backgrounds. This diversity is critically important to biomedicine. We need talented people with different perspectives to make science smarter and increase the capabilities of medicine. I want to thank our faculty for their skillful teaching and mentoring of our graduates, and I want to thank your parents and caregivers for their years of hard work and support that has enabled you to reach this day. Your future is bright, very bright, because science and medicine need you. Many of you will begin your careers here at Mount Sinai Health System. We are delighted to have your talents, but wherever you work, throughout your careers, you will always be a member of Mount Sinai's family, and you will represent Icahn Mount Sinai as a lifelong ambassador. Congratulations. I know you will all make us proud. Thank you.
It is now time to hear from our student speaker, Kieran Nadeo, a candidate for a Master of Public Health degree. Kieran was selected by her fellow graduates for this honor. Kieran?
Distinguished faculty, honored guests, proud families and friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. Today, we stand on the brink of a new chapter with anticipation and excitement. It is an immense honor to represent the graduating class of 2024 and share this momentous occasion with you all. Our journey at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai has been one of rigorous academic pursuit, personal growth, and collaborative achievement. Our time here has been defined not just by books and exams, but by the relationships we've built the challenges we've overcome, and our commitment to making a difference in the world. Each of us chose Mount Sinai for different reasons, but we all shared a common goal: to advance human health and contribute to the well-being of our society. Our master's program at the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences have prepared us to conduct research and translate findings into practice and policy. Whether pursuing a Master of Science in Biomedical Science or Public Health, Epidemiology, Genetic Counseling, clinical research, or other programs, we're ready to lead and innovate in our fields. During our studies, we engaged with leading experts, participated in groundbreaking research, and immersed ourselves in hands-on experiences. We've learned the importance of questioning the status quo, challenging norms, and pushing boundaries to achieve innovation and excellence. As a public health student, I experienced firsthand the program's commitment to providing research and professional development opportunities. For example, we had the Global Health Summer Research Program, where I got a chance to work in the field, and it included regular visits to the Rikers Island Correctional Facility for research and getting invaluable practical experience. Mentorship and professional development opportunities were also abundant. I had the opportunity to publish articles and present at multiple national and international conferences. I grew consistently and progressed steadily in the most significant public health associations in the world, the World Federation of Public Health Associations, and nationally, the American Public Health Association. Support for publications and conference travel awards, along with career workshops, have been instrumental in all our growth. Beyond academics, Sinai offered us a wealth of extracurricular opportunities through student organizations spanning various disciplines. Collaborations with fellow graduates, as well as MD, PhD, and MSTP students have enriched our experiences. I had the privilege of leading multiple groups and enjoying many events with all of you. Our diverse backgrounds and unique experiences have enriched our learning environment, fostering a culture of inclusivity and mutual respect. Many of us are international students, navigating our lives with additional challenges while maintaining hope. Our struggles have made us stronger, preparing us to face the real world with resilience and determination. Diversity is our strength, and it will continue to drive our success in our professional endeavors. Our education is not just a privilege, but a responsibility. We are now part of a global community dedicated to improving lives. In public health, we will address health disparities and promote wellness. In clinical research, we will pioneer new treatments and enhance patient care. In biomedical sciences, we will unlock new discoveries. Each of us has a vital role in shaping the future of healthcare and science. As we celebrate our achievements today, let us also be mindful of the world beyond these walls. We graduate at a time when many face unimaginable hardships due to global conflicts and crises. The ongoing wars serve as a stark reminder of our shared humanity and the importance of us using our knowledge and skills to promote peace, healing, and understanding. Throughout our time at Mount Sinai, we have witnessed the power of resilience and adaptability. We have seen how the healthcare and scientific communities came together in time of crisis, demonstrating unwavering dedication and compassion. These experiences have taught us the value of perseverance and the importance of staying true to our mission, no matter the obstacles we face. As we move forward, let us carry with us the core values instilled by Mount Sinai: integrity, compassion, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. Let us remain curious, continue to ask questions, and never settle for easy answers. The road ahead may be challenging, but we are all well prepared to face it with courage and determination. Our education has not only given us technical expertise, but also taught us that empathy and effective communication are key to our success. These skills will be crucial as we navigate our careers and strive to make a meaningful impact. Remember, as I always aspire to remember, first the person, then the profession. Let this empathy guide us to lead our lives with kindness and compassion. The fields we are entering can be demanding and stressful, So it is vital to remember to take care of ourselves. Finding balance and seeking support when needed will be essential to sustaining our ability to help others. Our well-being is paramount to our professional and personal success. And I would like to share a small incident here at Sinai where I've met people that have changed my life for the better. Firstly, the support I found from the Public Health Office, it has been invaluable. Dr. Nils Hennig, Daniel Ilyayev, Paradiba Ravindra Raja, they have been so significant and their contributions have been so significant to my success. They've been my pillars of strength who gave me the wings to fly far and wide. I came here as a very timid and shy person with nothing but a clinical background in dentistry, and everyone inquired my reasons about switching fields to public health. I was always perplexed by those questions because I knew dental public health existed. But then I could never understand how to combine my two passions. Then in March of 2022, I got a chance to attend the Jacobi Medallion Awards at the Plaza Hotel as part of Mount Sinai Student Council, where I met a kind soul by chance who inquired and wanted to know more about what I do, Dr. Emma Ben. Dr. Ben is a wonderful biostatistician and founder of the Center for Scientific Diversity at Mount Sinai. She encouraged me that my paths do converge, and there are wonderful dental professionals who've had a successful career in public health. With that, she introduced me to Dr. Haewon Lee, who at the time was a pediatric dentist practicing in Mount Sinai, who became a mentor who completely changed the trajectory of my life and made me the professional that I am today. I always heard that we could go much farther and much faster with the help of a mentor, and I finally experienced it thanks to Dr. Lee. She introduced me to the World Federation of Public Health Associations and allowed me to intern into the oral health work group. The journey involved multiple opportunities, personal mentorship, publications, presentations and conferences, global level webinars, and now has led me to serve as the vice chair of the work group under her leadership. Dr. Lee has taken me to unimaginable heights, and I cannot thank her enough for her grace. Despite several personal challenges and initial doubts, I found great academic success here. My journey is a testament to the forces beyond our understanding that have supported and elevated me. I'm profoundly grateful to Mount Sinai for opening so many doors and creating multiple opportunities for me, and I hope the experience has been as transformative for all of you. To our families and friends, thank you for your unwavering support and encouragement. Your belief in us has been a source of strength and motivation. I could not be standing here today without the immense love, support, and encouragement of my parents and my sister, who have sailed through turbulent waters with me and never left my side. Thank you. To my best friend, Dr. Sukhmeet Singh Gujral, who stood by me through the toughest times, you've been an invaluable source of support. Thank you. To Dr. Deborah Weiss-Fuse, the president of the Alliance for Oral Health Across Borders, thank you for all the opportunities, encouragement, love, and for being a star that has been guiding me through the world of global oral health. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today with Dr. Lipner. Thank you to my friends at Sinai and all around the world. Thank you for being a significant part of my life with your love, support, and our shared experiences. To our professors and mentors, thank you for your guidance, wisdom, and dedication. You have inspired us to aim higher and strive for excellence. I'd like to especially thank Dr. Nils Hennig, Dr. Emma Ben, Dr. Vishal Madhya, Dr. Shoshana Eggers, Dr. Laura McIsaac, Dr. Maya Koren, Dr. Mayana Chaksadeh, Dr. Krupa Harishankar, Luz Goel, and Dr. Haewon Lee. Your gracious presence in my life has nothing short of a blessing. I'm so sorry. To my fellow graduates, congratulations. This is a moment to celebrate our hard work, achievements, and future. Let us take pride in what we have accomplished and look forward with hope and optimism. Together, we will make a difference. And let us never forget the importance of empathy, compassion, and the pursuit of peace, even in the face of global challenges. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2024.
Thank you, Karen. The next part of these commencement proceedings, the part many of you have been eagerly awaiting, will be the presentation of graduates of all the master's programs at Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai with their diplomas. These degree recipients include candidates for Master of Science in Genetic Counseling, Master of Science in Biomedical Science, Master of Science in Biomedical Data Science, Master of Science in Healthcare Delivery Leadership, Master of Health Administration, Master of Science in Clinical Research, Master of Science in Biostatistics, Master of Science in Epidemiology, and Master of Public Health degrees. Candidates will be announced by Dr. Brian Nickerson, Senior Associate Dean for Public Health and Health Administration Programs, or Dr. Eric Sobi, Senior Associate Dean for Masters in Basic Science Programs, and hooded by their program directors, along with Dr. Sarah Miller, Dean for Basic Science, or Dr. Rosalind Wright, Dean for Public Health. First, we will award the Master of Science in Genetic Counseling. It is my pleasure to call forward Dr. Randy Zimberg, Director of the Master of Science in Genetic Counseling Program. Dr. Eric Sobi will announce the candidates, and Dr. Sarah Millar will assist in hooding.
I will now ask the candidates for Master of Science in Genetic Counseling to come up on stage individually as I call their names to receive their hood and their diploma. Emily D. Henderson. Next, we will award the Master of Science in Biomedical Science. Hooding the graduates will be Dr. Jose Silva, Director, Master of Science in Biomedical Science Program, assisted by Dr. Sarah Millar. I will now ask the candidates for Master of Science in Biomedical Science to come up on stage individually as I call their names to receive their hood and diploma. Anika Ahmed. Bergen Baberwitz. Megan Marie Bissinger. Sean Thomas Delica. Tori Drescher. Christian Ariel Gordillo. Etta Hanlon. Catherine Beatrice Jankowski. Jesse Maurer. Anirudh Nair. Ivianis Nieves Carril. Deepa Patel. Siddhartha Perry. Eugenia Pagodin. Maya Ramachandran. Gisela Rea Moreno. Julia Rose Robbins. Danielle Lizette Russo. Shabashkovich. Sayahi Sudokran. Rachel Tejaram. Henry Tillman. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Brian Nickerson, who will call forward our next graduating program.
Good afternoon. We'll now present the candidates for the Master of Science in Biomedical Data Science. These graduates will be hooded by Dr. Eric Sobey, Program Director, assisted by Dr. Sarah Millar. I will ask the candidates for the Master of Science in Biomedical Data Science to come up on stage as their names are individually called. Kelsey Nicole Aguirre. Tanuja Gober. Hiraman Guramanchi. Anjezi Jassi. Angie Vanessa Ramirez Jimenez.
Dr. Nickerson and I will now switch roles as we call forward the programs that he directs. The first is the Master of Healthcare Delivery Leadership, Hooding will be assisted by Dr. Rosalind Wright, Dean for Public Health. I will now ask the candidates for Master of Healthcare Delivery Leadership to come up on stage individually as I call their names to receive their hood and their diploma. George Nassan. Next, we will present the candidates for the Master of Science in Health Administration. I will ask the candidates for Master of Science in Health Administration to come up on stage individually as I call their names to receive their hood and their diploma. Timuchin Altan. Vanessa Borkush. Matea Felicia Boyarski. Norelli Ann Koreatomai. Carrie Ann Caitlin Gravesandy. Sharpsteep Core. Lorenzo Elliott Lays. Gong Meet Mong. Udita Pandya. Manvir Kaur Rana. Jeffrey Sarpong. Shivangi Shah. Shruti Shankar. Machner Siddiqui. Akachukwu Faith Uba. Deborah Perry Watman. Yaocheng Yi.
We will now present the candidates for the Master of Science in Clinical Research. These graduates will be hooded by Dr. Janice Gaberlov, Director of Clinical Research Education Program, and assisted by Dr. Rosalind Wright. I will now ask the candidates for Master of Science in Clinical Research to come up on stage as I individually call their names to receive their hood and their diploma. Nicole Diaz. Antonio Gomez Lima Unutu. Chika Ochu. Alejandra Paredes Marin. Jenny Rodriguez. Meghana Srinath. Next, we will award the Master of Science in Biostatistics. Putting these graduates will be program co-directors Dr. Emilio Bigella and Alan Weinberg. I will now ask the candidates of the Master of Science in Biostatistics to make their way on stage individually as I call their names to receive their hood and their diploma. Young Jun Go. Chastity Ramirez. Ian Wright. Now we will award the Master of Science in Epidemiology degrees. Hooding the graduates will be Dr. Danya Valvi, co-director Masters in Epidemiology program, assisted by Dr. Rosalind Wright. I will now ask the candidates for Masters of Science in Epidemiology to come up stage individually as I call their names to receive their hood and their diploma. Asan Chata. Miriam Hene. Abhishek Pandey. Valeria Patino. Nishant Sardesai. Vaishnavi Keshav Taharamni. Now we will award the Master of Public Health degrees. These graduates will be hooded by Dr. Nils Henning, Director of Graduate Program in Public Health. I will now ask the candidates for Master of Public Health to come up on stage as their names are called to receive their hood and their diploma. Zuleika Aldurab. Sumer Ahmad. Eleni Andrea Serrano Arnedo. Nayab Balak. Ria Murthy Bundampudi. Umal Bashir. Kirthana Reddy Baireddy. Kelsey Natara Chandran. Zaina Chima. Angela Chen. Zainab Chadhari. Rebecca Cohen. Gael Cruenis. Yukti Desai. Christopher Femino. Carla Alexandra Funes. Paulina Garcia Owens. Kayla Gardner. Krishnaben Kirabal Javari. Siring Gurung. Pavetta Jean-Louis. Onang Kant. Chloe King. Isha Kohli. Jacqueline Mano. Kutangi Adwait Mehta. Stephanie Montesino. Kiran Prakash Negdeo. Yes. Basuji Chokonoso. Catherine Paris. Janie Patel. Tirth Patel. Jayrad Rathaud. Sakina Ali Rizvi. Sai Shashank Reddy Samala. Priya Shah. Aditi Singhvi. Laura Servu. Yamini Verma. Shaylee Vishnubat. Jean Wu. Brian Yap. Muhammad Ursul Ali Khan Yosefze. Hua Wenju.
They did it. Let's give them all a round of applause. Congratulations, everyone. We're almost done. Not quite. Let me call back to the podium, please, Dr. Nils Hennig.
All right. The 2024 commencement exercises of the Graduate School of Biomedical Science at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai are now concluded. May I remind all present to remain seated until after the recessional is complete. The recessional will begin with the platform party, followed by the faculty and then the graduates. Marshall will lead the recessional. We invite all in attendance to join us for the Dean's receptions at the Guggenheim Pavilion, located straight ahead when exiting the auditorium. We look forward to celebrating with you.
Thank